find my work on my website, which is www.lindycowling.co.uk. For those of you that haven't seen my work before, or any of my videos before, I'm a medium, clairvoyant, healer, hypnotherapist. I've got, you know, a history of specialising in like past life regression, future life progression. I'm a channeler and I'm a twin flame, so I have a 3-year history of the twin flame union, 3.5-year history of the twin flame union. So basically where I'm coming from on camera is I kind of mix in all of those things, but where I'm talking from when I'm talking to you now is I'm talking from my heart, talking from what we call the knowing, which is tapping into information from my soul and spirit, you know, my higher self coming through. And some of what I'm talking about is using the benefit of my own experience, you know, within my journey so far. I've worked within the spiritual, what you call the spiritual arena, that kind of arena now for over 15 years. You know, the long family background of mediums, clairvoyants and healers and things like that, so it's been around me all my life really. Why I'm on camera today is this video is called BS, BS and Belief Systems. Basically, in the course of the last almost 20 years actually, I've been very passionately interested in humanity knowing the truth about things. Long before I was involved in the Twin Flame Union, long before I trained as a therapist, I was always passionate about getting the truth out there and kind of justice, so it was always in me. Long before I knew I was a twin flame, it was always there. It was always there, that passion, that drive. Now I know why. As I had that in me anyway, I then, as fate would have it, obviously planned in my timeline, I trained as a hypnotherapist, so I learnt all about how programming takes place, how it can influence your behaviour and your personality. And I know for a fact that the easiest way to influence people's behaviour is almost always through the media. So it will be things like through the internet, which the internet can be a fantastic thing. So it's a double-edged sword, because the internet's fantastic. I mean, you know, I'm getting these messages out now through the internet, so it's brilliant. But it can also be used negatively. The television is a massive one, you know, hence the term television programming. It's not just people watching innocent programs. When you are watching a certain level, a certain frequency or a certain vibration of program a lot of the time, that is affecting your energy field and affecting what height your energy is flowing at, what depth your energy is flowing at, and it's affecting the health of your mind, body, spirit and soul basically. So I'll give you an example. If someone was to sit in a dark room, you know, a lot of the time watching very, very violent films, not only would they become anaesthetised and numb to that violence, but they would start to vibrate on a very similar level to that. That's just simplifying it, but programming takes place all the time. It's very subliminal. Like I say, I know from my training, I've been working as a hypnotherapist for around about the 15-year mark now. I know from my training that that's very, very powerful in affecting people's behaviour, what they drink, what they eat, their behaviour, you know, quite more sinisterly is their actual, you know, behaviour, even beyond what they're eating and drinking. Their whole philosophy, their mindset, their belief in who they are, I'll just give you a simple example again, you know, say for example young female children growing up watching a lot of television where there's a lot of advertising about being skinny, being very slim, will be programmed very, very early on, perhaps even before the age of primary school, that they get the message loud and clear: I will not be lovable or accepted unless I'm a certain shape, a certain size, you know. That's just simplifying it, but that's another way it works. So I'm just trying to get across how powerful programming is. The reason I'm talking about, you know, this BS, you know, obviously BS, bullshit and belief systems, is that I know it's catastrophic for humanity and in society, because we're drip fed this from really the time we're born, mostly to sell advertising, mostly to sell individuality, mostly to sell the idea of an identity. Also there's a more sinister side to that. Not only is there the money and the marketing and that, and huge millions, multi-millions, billions to be made from that, but also more sinister than that, is a very great way of controlling humanity, is to make them think they'll never have enough money, there'll never be enough this, they have to look a certain way, they must buy this, to feel good about themselves. You know, if you really look at this, and there's a huge body of work that I can't cover in 10-15 minutes on YouTube, you really want to look into this, you'd be shocked. For me personally, part of my disentangling from those belief systems and the bullshit basically is I watch very, very, very little telly at all. I don't even watch the news, because I know that the world news that we see is just a fraction that much of what really is happening, you know, and it's very, very negative in its content. You're only shown, or we're only shown, a tiny negative portion of it. So if you see that every day, your whole perception of the world is, oh my god, it's fearful, it's evil, it's dark, this is happening, that's happening. It affects your frequency, it takes you into a state of fear. I'm going to go one step further again and say that that's intentional. You're intentionally being programmed to be in a state of fear. Why? Because when you come out of a state of fear and come away from that programming and start to disentangle and realise who you are without the identity of being, you know, a fashion princess, or without the identity of being, you know, the top guy at the office, without the identity of being the family man, without the identity of being, you know, the mother and cook and bottle washer, without the, you know what I'm saying. When you disentangle yourself from all of this stuff, that's when you find out who you truly are and what you're truly made of. You would be shocked, because 95% of who you think you are not. You are the result of programming. Some of that programming accidental, some of it intentional. You will also be programmed and influenced by what happened to you in your young years in your childhood, how your family behaved towards you. So for example, if your mother was a narcissist that withheld love, for example, say we use a male as an example, and his mother was a narcissist that was very controlling with love, he would learn very early on that he wasn't worthy, and he would have to earn that love. That's really being very simplistic. I can't go into details, huge details here in the time that I've got. You know, so the influence of your family around you is huge throughout those formative years, right the way through, and right the way up as you're changing and forming and going through puberty. And this brings me on to the next thing, you know, because not only are you carrying, or everybody carrying, these belief systems, this programming, this identity and individuality of what they think they are, I'm going to say, you know, you're not the individual you think you are. You are a unique expression of consciousness. You are a unique expression of consciousness, but that is not the personality that you are. Your personality is wonderful. It's like the glasses you look through, the lens you're looking through. that your conscious is looking through and experiencing in this timeline, in this life. But it's not who you truly are. You're much bigger than that identity. You're much bigger than the clothes that you're wearing. You're much bigger than the job you have. You're much bigger than the relationship you're in. You are all things and everything, and you cannot find that from these outside things. You have to find it from within. The only way you'll find your way within is to start disentangling yourself from some of these other things, and to be very simplistic, is to get yourself back into tapping into what brings you alive, what is your passion, what is your joy, what makes your soul sing, what makes your heart sing. And usually they are very simple things, because the simpler it is, it gets you back into that childlike state, that childlike joy, the easier it is to open up the heart. Getting into that state of joy is much easier than at first getting into that state of love, because joy is an easier step to reach than love. So doing what you love, activities that you love, being creative helps, because again you always have to feel your way to the heart to open it up and to disentangle yourself from the programming. As you do this, it can't happen overnight, but a lot of stuff will come up for you as you start to question who you are, what choices you've made, why you've made them. Some people, say that they did things because it was best for the people they were with. Well, I had to sacrifice what I really wanted to do for the sake of others. I'm going to say again, that actually is a BS one. That's not just a belief system, that's a BS one. If you truly love yourself and you truly love the people you're with, you want to be putting out the best and truthful, I was going to say version of you, but it's the only version of you, the real you that you can, because when you're doing that, you're sending out a vibration and frequency which raises theirs and helps open them up. So by sacrificing who you truly are, say for the sake of your children, I won't honour my own path because that would upset my children. It's just fear, it's insecurity again, it's judgment, fear, what other people will think, your own insecurity, your own not wanting to let go of control. When you come from your heart on any decision in your life, only when you come from here, there isn't carnage, there isn't that collateral damage, because you're coming from a higher level of vibration. So we're, like I say, we've got all this time that we're swimming around in, where all these structures and these belief systems are breaking up and breaking down. And it's all about really being true to yourself, and you can't be true to yourself if you don't know who yourself is. And if you're being programmed all the time by every magazine you pick up, every news program you're watching, TV programs that you're watching, the soap operas that you're watching, if you're constantly being programmed, and you have all these belief systems sitting there anyway from when you were this high, programmed by your family, how do you think that you are going to be able to let that go if you keep doing the same thing over and over again? You have to, if you really want to get up into this higher state of consciousness, which is you, and really start to see the truth and reality of things, you have to try and shift, and you can only shift by letting go of the old stuff. If you want the new, you've got to let go of the old. Anyway, that's enough for now. So again, I will love you and leave you, and I hope to be back on camera soon. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Bye bye.